Okay, are we on? What? Sorry we're late. Now we're on, but no one's here because they didn't know. We didn't warn them. That's you? Are you on? Someone's on there.
Probably,
Oh, they went off. Cindy Dilkin? Hi. Hello, Cindy.
Oh, hey, Cindy. How are you?
Sorry we're late, but been a very eventful day. Some good news, some bad news.
Yeah. Ain't that the way life is?
The good news is we're late. Or maybe that's the bad news. The good news is that we're here. We almost didn't make it. As you can tell, look at my arms.
It's been a day.
It's been a day. It's been a life. Man. You can see I didn't change. Look at this. You can tell when I've been working. Here's how you tell. My shirt's got black dots on.
I'm still trying to put notifications out so people know that we're...
Someone else is here. Are you on here too?
Not yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You are?
But I'm not on the video.
Okay, well, we got 3 people, 1 like, 5 people, 1 like. All right. Who else is on here? Terry Birds is on here. Hey.
Hey, Terry.
How you doing, Terry? Oh, crazy day, man. Crazy day. Yeah, Trey's here. We are here. All right.
Hey, Trey.
Let a few more people get on here, and then we'll tell you what happened today. And,
everything's okay. We're fine.
Well, this dog, he is a ham bone and a half. We're up to 9. All right, we're burning it. Doing good. That's good. How's Prepper Wayne doing? You doing okay? I guess he's back there. Talked to him the other day. I'll tell you that story too. It's been a wild and crazy week, man. Been a wild and crazy week, and we still got I still got that problem with my truck that I had when we were in Kentucky. He's doing okay, good. I had my with that ABS light coming on, and I thought I had it whipped, man. We did a drive on Saturday. We
3
left.
hours.
It was little over 3 hours going and 3 hours coming back. By the time we got all done, it was a little over 8 hours. So, but I called Prepper Wayne and asked him if he knew anyone that had a used. Here's Maddie.
Maddie, hi Maddie.
I asked if he knew anyone that had a used dual therm Brisk Air 1, not the Brisk Air 2, Brisk Air 1 AC. And he said that Ross Dupree might have one. And so I called Ross and got a hold of his wife, and she said, well, they don't have any of them right now, but when they do, they're really cheap. And then a little while later, she called me back and said, well, we're not doing used ones anymore. We're only selling new ones that are like $1,100. Well, I see that everywhere. So I was hitting up you should have seen him yesterday. That was crazy. Anyway, I kept checking on the Facebook Marketplace, and there was a dual therm, 13,500, and the guy wanted $450 for it. And it looked pretty good in the pictures and stuff. And I talked to him about it, and I said, well, would you take 400? And he said, well, let's just do 4 1/4. How's that? And I said, okay. So that's when we got in the truck, and we drove to Ward, Arkansas, which was like 3.5 hours away. And we got there, I wanted to check the AC, and I took the cover off, and I looked it over. It looked pretty darn good. Of course, the cowling had the shroud or whatever you want to call it, had some cracks in it, but it was off a fifth wheel, and it was a 37-foot fifth wheel with 3 slide outs with that little air conditioner. And he said it didn't keep anything cool. He said it was like it was just like a fan. And so he got a Furrion 15,500 BTU, and he said he was an Air Force guy. And I mean, his whole story, I mean, he just kind of gave me the lowdown on it, and it all sounded pretty good. And when I got there, I looked at the AC, and it looked about right. So I gave him the 4 1/4, and we got back, and that was on Saturday. And then yesterday, her brother is over here in a lake in Oklahoma, and he has a nice pontoon boat. And we usually go. He used to live in Lake Havasu. So we went over there, and he had his boat. We went out on his boat, and Cage absolutely loves the boat. He loves to go on the water. He loves to swim. He loves to run around on the little islands and stuff. So we basically just laughed at him half the day, and he just constantly squawking and barking and
whining
the whole time
and
then he's gone. We always find a little island that so he can run. So he had a blast. I mean, he was just, and Uncle Kev loves him, man. So and then we came back home, and then today I called my brother and said, hey, I got that air conditioner. You think you could come by with your tractor and lift it up for me? And he said, yeah, I could do that. So he put his forks on, and him and my nephew came over, and we got that AC up in the air, set it on the top of the motorhome, took the other one, took it down. That thing was fried. It's absolutely fried. So the one that I got had a different kind of inside cover, and it has the dump where you push it. There's like a louver area where it can just dump the air straight in. It doesn't go through the ducting.
Hi, Myron Priestman. Hi, Mark Bastian.
There you go. Hey, Bastion, right? Yeah.
Bastian?
Yeah.
I think that's how you say it. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Bastion. Anyway, so I was going to put that. Look at my arm. Look at that. Man, I'm a mess, man. I'll tell you everything. So anyway, I decided to take it and put the one with the dump out here because she bakes that bread all the time in here. And even if she does it early in the morning, it still heats it up. That oven heats it way up. So today we turned this thing on out here, and I mean, it cooled it right down. Now it was perfect in here. And then
Boss team, like a boss team carrier.
Okay. So
come here.
Anyway, the one in the bed, I just put the old cover back on. I had to do some modifications, and he gave me all the electronics. I mean, he gave me everything for that air conditioner because he went with the Furrion. I got this in the Furrion box with everything, all the hardware and 2 filters, the whole thing. So I put that on in there. It's just cooling the bedroom, and it does great in there.
Sorry.
And the air's come on, shut off. This one, when it's like today, it was like 83 or 84. The air never shut off. It just run all day long because it just comes out these little vents. But with that dump, I had to cool it right off in here and shuts off. Same way with the bedroom. So that makes it really nice. So air conditioning fixed. I don't like anything on the motorhome to not be working. So
Cage is hysterical.
I got to service this thing again, but I gotta lay down for a $55 oil filter. I can't believe they used to be $35. They just keep up. Probably by the time I quit procrastinating, they'll be 90. So, but I'm trying to solve a problem on our truck. So it went all the way there and all the way back. We didn't have a problem with it. And yesterday we went to her brother's, and the ABS light, the brake light, came on. And we got about a third of the way there, and I stopped, and I was able to reset it. And then we made it to his house, and we left, and we were coming home. All of a sudden, the speedometer quit working, the brake light, the ABS was on, it was bonging, and so I replaced two sensors on that, the rear speed sensor. So I called AutoZone. I said, "Do you have another one?" They said, "Yeah, we got it." So we zipped over there and got that, and that's how I get all boogered up, is underneath that.
Well, he's still on blood thinners too, so every time he even bumps his arm, you know how old people's skin does.
I am old. I feel it. I feel it today, really.
Yeah.
So anyway, we went and got it, and then while I was waiting on my brother to come, I got underneath there and turned myself into sliced bread. But I got that sensor in, and we went for a little road test, and the speedometer was trying to work, but it wasn't working. And I talked with a guy over there at AutoZone, and I said, what, I'm having major failures with these things, and he's going, well, it just seems they do. So I found an NGK on Amazon, which is something they don't make anymore, but it's a Japanese sensor instead of the Chinese. So I got that coming. But I think there's a young guy, and he works at a shop over here.
Mentioned him before.
Yeah, in fact, he said he's gonna go home and try to get on here tonight and watch us. Really good guy, great kid, sharp guy, really sharp. He's like 20 years old. He's really good with the electronics on these cars. But he's like me with the motorcycles. Sometimes you get baffled. And I worked out a friend of his bike, and man, I just could not figure out what the heck, why it didn't want to run right. And it had this 40 millimeter CV carburetor, which is talking to the ladies. I know they all understand what I'm talking about. But the bottom of the carburetor where the fuel is and the accelerator pump was bypassing, and it was just spraying back into the fuel bowl. So it wasn't spraying into the carburetor. And by the time I figured that out, then I went over to my storage, and I had one that has a thunder slide kit in it for the injector. And that bike runs good now. So, but it took me a while to figure. It took me like a week to figure that thing out.
Mark says Plavix does it to him. He's on a blood thinner too.
Yeah, and now what am I on now? Am I on Plavix? I think that's what they put me on.
You haven't. I don't know. Are you taking those now, the Plavix?
I think so. It was a cheaper deal.
Yeah.
The first time we bought blood thinners, it was $550 for a month's supply.
Right.
And then we went, whoa, we got to do something. So we found what works with our insurance. And then
the first one and the second one, I don't know. Doesn't really matter. Yeah, he's on Plavix now.
So
hopefully he can get off of him, but I don't know.
So anyway, he came over and we were checking it. Apparently, it's possible that the cable going back to that speed sensor, the wires are touching or have rubbed and touched somehow, because he could put 12 volts on one side, and he's getting like 6.5 volts on the other wire when everything is disconnected. He just runs that 12 volt from the plug to the back plug.
Hey, RV Prepper Wayne, welcome.
Hey, how you doing?
Here. We hear you're doing better.
Yeah.
We're happy to hear that.
And I did find, you missed my story, but I found an AC, a really awesome one. So I got a good price, I think. Everywhere I checked, they were used ones were $400. I paid $4.25 in 8 hours of my life going to get it. But I can put it on today, and man, it works really good. Phil, how's your leg doing? Well, main thing I can say it's still there, but you know what? Some days it feels like it's doing better than others, and some days it feels like it's doing terrible. I mean, I'm not used to having something like this. I mean, it's been almost 10 months.
Yeah.
And 10 months ago, it was really bad. But it's still, I mean, I can walk and everything, but if I walk a lot, at the end of the day, man, I'm limping and wore out. You know, when you have like an injury like that, it just kind of throws you all off, Glad you found one. Yeah, it was, it was good. I called the Duprees and they at first I talked to her. He was gone and she said, "Well, we don't have any used ones. I don't think right now, but they usually go." She goes, "They're really cheap when we have them." And then she texted me and said that they didn't have any used ones and they were going to sell them any used ones anymore, and she could get me one for $1,100 and all this stuff. And I mean that's pretty common. So I got this one for 4 and a quarter, low usage, um, and it works really good. And and it had the little dump, it came out of a fifth wheel, and it was set up so that you flip the lever, and I put it out here instead of in the bedroom. I changed all the hardware around and put the flipper out here, and because she bakes a lot of sourdough bread, and man, what a difference! It really
It concentrates.
it cools it right down. Well, trying to pump it through these ducts, it pumps through all of them, and in the bedroom, it's got two of the small ducts in there, and she's always under the cover shivering when I have that thing on. So, and now the ACs they cycle. Before this one out here would never cycle.
Yeah.
One in there would.
It stayed on the whole day.
So
now it clicks on and clicks off.
Yeah, and I knew what to check on that AC, so I checked everything and it checked out. The only thing is the cowling it's got it cracked in a few spots. But
yeah, but so does the one that's up there.
They all crack.
I know a guy who does fiberglass.
Yeah,
so we're fine.
we've had Corvettes, so I know how to fiberglass. So.
Yeah, so another problem solved.
Yeah.
If we fix the truck, we'd be in fine shape.
Yeah, I'm bummed out about the truck. We've been fighting this problem, but Garrett came over here and checked it all. I think we got a plan.
He also said that when it does that, it makes it run funny.
Well, with the check engine light, because what will happen is after a while, if that thing keeps doing it, all of a sudden the check engine light comes on. The only way for me to clear that is to stop, disconnect the battery for about 10 minutes, and then hook the battery back up. When you're trying to get somewhere, you can't do it.
About why it does that, there's nothing out there. Why it's doing that?
Well, there's a lot of stuff out there,
but none of them are
none of
our
it's
problem.
fixed.
Yeah.
So.
And so we figure, okay, well, just disconnect the bong because it drives you crazy.
Well, I figured out the 2000.
But you can't disconnect it.
The 2000 from like 2004 to like 2008 or 9, they have some serious wiring issues from time to time. So.
When you say, do we have a scanner, do you mean one that reads the codes?
Yeah. Well, he's got everything. He's got a Snap-on scanner.
The kid he was talking about, Garrett.
Yeah, he has 2 or 3 of those scanners. He said that the one that would read the because it's a wave signal that it sends. He says the scanner that would check that out is the one above this new scanner he just got, and it was like $3,000 more than the one he paid $3,000 for. So he'd be $6,000 into it. So I said, well, although you can go over here to AutoZone and for $200 you get one that will scan it out.
And it's got multiple codes that keeps throwing up there too.
Well, and he says those codes don't show up on his stuff. It's supposed to read out 000 when it's done. When you on my truck, you can hold the trip meter in and you turn the key on, and it cycles. That's what happened that one time when my truck quit running. It just shut off. Of course, up until that point, we thought we were getting like 40 miles to a gallon because the gas gauge was barely moving. But what it was is the gas gauge wasn't working. So when I put a new fuel pump, sending you it's a whole new unit. I put that in the tank, and the tank was empty, and got gas and everything, and the gauge wasn't reading right. So I found out you do that, it will reset it. But they had codes in there. I think they're codes. Anyway, it will come out. So I don't know. There's something, and I've replaced 3 of those rear speed sensors. The last one lasted almost a month. So anyway, pretty frustrated. Like I say, I got one coming from Amazon that's a NGK, which is
Hey, Vince Simmons,
Japanese made.
we're late. Getting a
Well,
start.
Garrett, I had to throw him out. We got to talking RVs. He's got a little travel trailer, and he doesn't know how do you. He goes, how do you winterize it? So I was explaining that to him, kind of showing him this thing, but this is like so much different than what he's got. But
And we don't winterize because we live in it, so.
yeah, I took all the winterizing stuff was leaky, so I took it all off, put PEX hose in there and a valve and everything, and
Sounds like an ECM problem, Mark.
see our air just kicked back on. It's been on all this time, but look at how long it was off. So
Mark says it sounds like an ECM problem.
well, there's a different thing. There's a deal where all these plugs go in that he was telling me about, any TPI or something like that. And he said on the Dodges, when those go out, it's $900. So we're hoping that's not it. And like I say, we tested the wire from the sensor to the ABS uh, control module. And if he puts power to one wire, even though it's an open wire, both of them are open to the back. Nothing is plugged in the front or in the back. The one line has 12 volts, and the other line has 6.5. So it's speedy. So we're trying to figure out where the possibility of that could be. So
On a bright note, today was extremely pleasant.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
yeah, it was
for him
really
to be on
nice.
top of the RV like that was.
Yeah, it got warm this
Super nice.
afternoon, but it was real nice in the morning. We've texture coated the roof, redid that, so that's all. The roof's all sealed real nice. Everything. I was checking that out while I was up there. It looks really good. Got the new air on. Got all these controls and everything all figured out. Everything's just working good. So the motorhome's at this point, other than needing a lot of service work, is doing real good. It's the truck and the dog. We have a dogfish. He sure likes the water. I'm surprised. I had a dog like this when I was a kid, and he loved the water. You'd take him to a lake, man. You had to keep him on a rope, or he would have just swam away. And this guy here, he doesn't go very far, but he goes out where he swims and comes back around, and just likes to get wet. He was actually just like a cow, just standing in the water for a while.
Yeah, he got in there and actually sat down in the water. Kind of funny. Hey, Jim Bertrand, good to see you. I haven't seen you for a while. Let's see, IPM is separate from the ECM, PCM.
Yeah. Well, that's why we're trying to figure it out. What what happens is with that ABS light on, and when that speed sensor starts kicking off, after a few miles, the check engine light, because it's trying to read off that sensor. But the guy at AutoZone was trying to tell me I have two of those speed sensors, but I don't, because that's only for the automatic trans, and we have the manual, so it doesn't have that. So something else I was going to talk about too.
Brandon, Manitoba, Canada. Getting cool up here, Jim says.
Yeah, well,
we were just commenting on what a cool morning it was here. It's supposed to get down to 48 here tonight. Yeah, is that what you said?
It's 53. 53.
Yeah, Wayne, it's a Dodge.
Yeah, Dodge Ram 1500. Yeah, well, it's just we had one of the very first Chrysler 300s ever made. I saw that car and I fell in love with it. We went to the dealers, and we went to a bunch of dealers and looked at them, and they all wanted like $10,000 or $15,000 over the sticker price. I told them, I go, I'll give you a sticker, but I'm not giving you a penny over that. And
Wade says, you want to know the best way to fix it?
What?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. Yeah, it's He's going to tell me just disconnect the buzzer or the big bong, but
Sell it.
no.
That's what I told him. I said, oh, it's time for a new truck.
I
Don't want
I just put a brand new engine in it, and I mean it.
I told him get some electrical tape and put it over the lights and disconnect the bong, 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 bong. But he can't. You can't just.
I gotta fix it.
I know you do.
I like things to be.
We had frost and glacier National Park 2 days ago. Trey says.
Pepper Wade. I thought he was a nice guy. I really liked him up until now. Nah, just kidding.
Dodge is known to have electrical issues.
Yeah, well.
It had one the day we took it on a test drive. We shouldn't be surprised if this is doing this.
The very first day we went to get that, to look at those trucks, they had that thing where you get $6,500 off, get cash back on leftover stock, 2005. And I told the salesman, I said, I want to see the $15,000 truck. And he said, what? I said, supposedly you could buy a new Dodge truck for $15,000 out the door. And he went, checked with the sales manager, and came back and said, well, I could give you the discount on these 3 trucks. He pointed, there was a red one like mine, and mine's got the chrome, and it's got carpeting and a stereo, hand crank windows, which I wanted, the manual I wanted the 6-cylinder, I didn't want a V8, and then there was one right next to it that basically had rubber mats and nothing, and little tiny hubcaps and small wheels. Mine's got nice wheels and everything. And then this red one that was dressed up like ours. He said, well, I can't give you this one for that, but I will. I said, well, this is the one I'd want right here, this blue one. And we went to go road test it. I opened the door and the horn started blowing. I was like, what the heck? And the dash was all lit up and it was going bong, bong, and the back cargo light was on. And he said, well, let's take the red one. And I said, no, I'm not going to buy the red one. If I buy one, I'm buying this blue one. And so we got in the truck, and I closed the door, and the horn quit. Still was bonging, and the lights were all on. So this is before we even bought the thing. And we went on a road test. And we got back, and I said, well, go see how much this thing would be out the door. And so he left. And then I opened the hood, and I reset the ECM. While he was gone. And it quit doing it. It didn't do it anymore. And Ben. And he was like, hey, we need a guy like you around here on the weekends.
Myron says, better get a hold of Scotty Kilmer. He'll dial you in. You know who he is?
Yeah, he's a guy with a really funny voice. And I'll show you the best car you ever bought. You can buy in the world.
He's our salesman to the map.
Oh my gosh.
He's a YouTuber.
You know what? You want a good car? You want to know the best car you can buy? The best car you can buy is a Mazda Miata. That's the best car you can buy. Yeah, he's pretty crazy. See, I'm like you guys. I watch these. I like to watch videos. You know what's funny is we were kind of hoping to get that 96,600 something people, but didn't happen. You guys let me down.
Well, you were also asking him.
Because I want to get that little plaque.
You were also asking him to send you $1 if everybody could just send you $1.
$1. That's nothing.
Oh no, somebody figured out if everybody sent you $2,300.
Right.
That was it. You could build your building.
I could build my building. And no one sent any money.
Myron says Toyota. Toyota's the best. We'll see. They should play Morgan Freeman saying at this moment he knew he effed up when you bought it. Here's
the deal. I paid $16,780 for that truck brand new out the door.
It was worth it.
And then a week after I bought it, they called me up and said, we made a little mistake. And I said, you made a mistake? Yeah, well, that truck's an 06, and the sale was on the 05. I said, well, you want me to bring it back? Well, we lost $1,700. I said, yeah. Well, we bought a lot of cars from you. I know you got full pop on that Chrysler 300 we bought.
Plus, we brought a lot of customers.
Yeah.
For.
I said, so, tough. If you want it back, you give me my money back, or I keep the chase away, you keep your truck.
Have you had to replace any of the blend door in your
Yes.
HVAC system yet on your truck?
I did. Yep, I've done that. I've done everything in that truck. When I pulled the motor out, the little pressed-in cage buried was all exploded. It was chewing up the input shaft on the transmission. I went and got a bushing. I got one that was the outside. The OD was a little too big, and the ID was a little too small. I have a lathe, a small lathe that I used to use for making wheel spacers on motorcycles. And I just went in there and sized it all up, made it real, and put that in there, some self-lubricating bushing. That made a big difference in the transmission.
Yeah. High fill press now. Does it have 4.7?
3.7 V6. It's a 4.7 with less two cylinders. It's overhead cam and all that. It runs really good. It's a great running truck.
Mark said he had to replace all of his
what?
blend door.
Oh yeah. Well, the only one I had to change is the fresh and the because it got hung up in such a way where you couldn't get that down the dash. The one over on the right side, it was a piece of cake to change. So that's when I first started. I started out working at a Ford dealership. I was a lot boy. I was like 16 or 17 years old, and I wanted to be a mechanic. And so they maybe I got apprentice, in new car service. So we did the PDIs where you put the hubcaps and you check stuff, and I got into doing windows and water leaks, wind leaks, and that kind of stuff. And then pretty soon I was doing AC installs and fire jobs, and then just from there, then I was a light mechanic, and then I got into writing service. And we met at a Pontiac dealership, and after that, I went to Oldsmobile, and then from there, I was working at Oldsmobile, and ended up getting married when I was working there, and then I left there, and we ended up out in the high desert. I was a service manager for 4 lines of General Motors. I did GMC, Pontiac, Buick, and Cadillac.
We have a new viewer, Orthocrosty. Hi.
Hi.
Welcome.
Wow. I've watched your videos before. They're very
really
informative. Good. In fact, you know what? You do bread just like your mom. That's our daughter. She used to be Sydney. Now she's Orthocrosty.
Orthocrosty. That's her new channel. You guys check it out. It's really cute. Mark said it took him 8 hours. He had to take his dash out, the entire dash.
Yeah. I've done that before on Fords. I did that on my Corvette. That was a motor.
I do have to say, Orthocrosty made German gyros and specialists tonight, and Mr. Orthocrosty loved it.
Yeah, I love it too.
He wrote me a note in German.
But I don't get it.
I don't get it.
She used to love me. She doesn't love me anymore.
I make you sourdough bread all the time.
I know, but I like it all. When I was a child, my mom was 100% German, but she didn't cook stuff like that. But there was a neighbor down the street who was 100% German, and she did. And she knew that I would probably like it. So she invited me to have dinner with her family one night when she made German gyros and Spencer. And I always told Darla, man, and she got a recipe for it. And if you want to try something amazing, I mean, you don't have to be German to love it.
Orthocrosty asked, where did I learn to make that? I found the recipe, and I only went looking for it because, I only went looking for it because Dad said he really liked it, just like he said. So, did your mom's parents immigrate? Yes, they did.
Than mine?
Your mom's parents
Yeah.
immigrate.
My
Yeah.
mom was the first born in America. My grandparents, which I never met, they were dead before I was born. But they came they came from Germany right before World War II. And then my mom was firstborn and I'm second generation American. So and boy did I get hammered as a kid. I was the Nazi. With the last name like McLean and my dad, I mean he's everything. He's a Heinz 57. We like to say anything that stands still long enough, you know. So
I called him a cross country pollinator.
yeah. So I mean he right where we're at here, he was born what is it, like 6 miles from
Yeah.
here? And he died 6 miles from here. And he's buried about 3 miles away. So
Mark says it's easy on the RAM to he said it took him 8 hours to take the entire dash out and replace the Blendor, the HVAC system.
I've only done one. How many do you have to do?
Just this one.
Just one?
Oh.
How many of those?
Mark, did you have to replace? Oh, give me the ball. Where's the ball? Where's it?
Mine, I can't remember what it was. Was it the actuator or the door itself? I think it was the door itself broke and it was laying in there.
It was the door.
It was a cheap fix.
Yeah.
Thought so. Yeah, see, Cindy, you would be third generation American. Which means we never owned any slaves. Now, on my dad's side, I'm not going to say, I don't know, but on my mom's side, no. But I don't think so. They never had any money. Seven?
Mark said 7.
Your stuff was broke.
Yeah.
Yeah, on my dad's side, they've been here 200 years.
Yeah.
So actually, the very first in our family came here 1775. He said, a year before the
7 doors. 7 doors.
7 doors. Yeah.
That sounds like a band.
You are being a pest. P-E-S-T. Should have seen him yesterday when he came out of the water. We must have been close to. There must have been like. There's someone new. Which new Vlogger channel? Hello. Anyway, there must have been cows or something up there because the flies came down and got on Uncle Kev. Man, his legs were covered with flies and the whole back of the cage was. So we get in the boat and we start cruising. I go, you need to go faster. We're trying to get the flies out because they were kind of hitchhiking, and we finally got it fast enough where we got them. And then we went on that other island. It was no problem, but it was out in the middle of the water. If you replace one, you might as well replace all of them. I also replaced the heater core and the evaporator core while I was in there. Hey, man, the way I look at it is, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know, I hate to because most of the time I don't change things too much. It's maybe to the defroster or something, or the heater, but it'll go to heater for the winter. In the summertime, it stays on the air, so I don't do too much more. Oh man, what do you do? You're not even on there.
Yeah, I am.
You don't know what's going on.
You don't know what's going on.
Why? I'm tired. Oh, okay. Something was going on, huh?
Yeah.
for 300 seconds. Timed out for 300 seconds.
Oh yeah.
Huh. Yeah, there's.
I didn't want to take it out again. Mark said, if you replace one, you might as well replace all of them.
Yeah.
I also replaced the heater core and the evaporator coil while I was in there.
See, I didn't have to take anything out.
I pulled my tooth out 3 minutes ago. What? Really? Hey, Mellow Cat. Prepper Wayne said he pulled his tooth out 30 minutes ago.
You only have one? You pulled. You need to go to Mexico, Prepper Wayne. You need to go down there and get your teeth fixed. It's not too expensive.
I can't stand it hurting.
Yeah.
You pulled your own tooth out? Well, you're tough. Hey, 2 Eggs, welcome. We're really running behind schedule.
Yeah.
But you guys know why. All you had to do is look out your window to know.
Well, I'll tell you what I know all about getting teeth pulled.
Yeah.
Had 28 pulled at one time and 4 without anesthesia. So there was 4 left right here, and the dentist went. I go, ooh, I really feel that. And he goes, so I can't shoot you with any more. And I said, well, he says you'll have to come back tomorrow. I said, well, I'm not coming back tomorrow. Just pull them. And he pulled the 4 with I felt it full on, man. But I'm done. I don't have to mess with that no more. I like it. Did Crofty, did they live? Have you ever RV'd in Mexico? No.
No.
And we've known of people that have, and the only way that they would go down there, they do these groups, and you like groups of 10 or 12 RVs, and they do a complete inspection on your RV before you go, and you zoom down. Now we go to
they're still here.
There they are. We go to like Yuma and then go across the border. We have videos on that when we go down there to Algodones, and it's a great place. I have no fears of going down there.
Yeah, not to walk across for the day.
Yeah,
I
people
wouldn't drive a car in there.
No, I probably
would.
People do, but I just prefer to walk. The secret is you get there early. Get there like 6 o'clock, and you go in if you're 8 o'clock. It depends. We always had to have appointments.
Who opens at what time?
We had appointments for like glasses, like these glasses. These glasses here in the United States run me about $800 or $900. I get them for $100 a quarter in Mexico. For the same exact thing. Okay, yeah. Good quality and a really good eye test. But I'm kind of bummed because it doesn't look like we're going to be going to Quartzsite this year.
Right.
So,
2 Eggs. We were late too. We didn't start till 7:37. So.
Yeah, we still haven't got the truck fixed, but it's back together. So because I got to go to my therapy thing on my leg tomorrow.
Now works great.
Now they're sticking like acupuncture needles into my nerve endings in my leg and hooking up electric zappers, and they crank it up as much as I can stand it, and then they just leave me there. Quite interesting.
She says Ortho, Crombie, and Fitch.
Yeah. Why'd you have to pick such a difficult name for, your dad has a hard time saying certain things because I'm German.
He's a German.
I'm a German. We're the German family.
Oh, you literally on pins and needles. You're literally on pins and needles. Amanda.
I'll tell you what, she stuck one in me one day, and I'll tell you what, man, about me without the electric, she's got a thing, and she puts it in a little ways, and she pulls the thing off, and then she taps it. Woo! And when it hits that nerve just right, man, about send you through the ceiling.
A croft is the Scottish word for homestead.
Yeah.
I explained all that to him.
Yeah.
But he just likes orthocroft.
She was mad explaining me.
I was
Mansplaining.
mansplaining to him.
Yeah. Womansplaining. See, I know all these new words.
All the lingo, huh?
Did you finish your little building that you're going to rebuild? You're going to put a washer and dryer and refrigerator and all that other amenities. You know what's funny is we were hoping that we were going to get like $2,300 from everybody on the live, but we didn't get the 2,300. But no, we haven't. But we did get metal for it, and we're going to be as soon as we get the truck fixed, we're going to go pick up our refrigerator, washer, dryer, and we're working on it. We got our storage, we got it all organized. We went down to Texarkana to get like milk crates, but they're not milk crates. They're like what vegetables come in and stuff. They're not nearly as strong, but they stack.
They're more stout than a cardboard box.
Yeah, and they're 50 cents a piece. So we got $13 worth, and they work pretty good. I put a lot of motorcycle tools and parts in them. We just have to wait a couple of months to go over there and see when we pick them up if they explode or not. But why'd you zap Maddie?
You rode in on a nerve. What? I didn't.
There.
I didn't.
Oh. ER.
Yes, thanks, Maddie. You guys hit the like button for us, please.
Yeah. Please do that, please, and leave comments. I really enjoy reading your comments and answering your comments.
If they're on the live and they don't do a rewatch, they won't comment. And the live.
Oh yeah, you're commenting, I guess, here, but does that count? No. Nothing counts for us anyway.
Oh, well.
It's amazing in retirement years how we're trying to repurpose things so we don't have to spend money. Yes, well, the thing about it is when you don't have a lot of money, it's tough to do, you know. And the money that we do have, we're trying to hang on to because we can't work right now because I'm having to do this therapy, and we're getting medical things done to her at the same time. Me dancing?
Yes.
Yeah. They're trying to get Mom to take a shower so I can film it for YouTube, but she won't do it. I got pictures of Cage in the water and on the boat and everything else. We should make a little video of that.
Yeah.
And I also have I found a video of my motorcycle shop. I don't know
if anyone's interested
where
in that, put that up there.
Darla went through the shop, and you could kind of see me working on bikes, and she showed the where you come in and everything. And there's a lot of bikes in there that day.
Do the shuffle, Amanda. He used to be able to moonwalk really good. He can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Everyone loves puppies. That's right.
Yeah, Cagey's pretty cool. Last night we didn't even know we had a dog last.
Wayne says LOL, or so I can just see him on TikTok.
Yeah.
He didn't know Dad was a disco king. Hey, Liza Jane, it's good to see you on here.
Yeah. Yeah, last night we got home from the boat and we didn't know we had a dog, huh?
No, he
just melted.
He was so tired.
He just crashed right now.
Yeah.
He's sitting over here on the passenger seat. We have this blanket that we share. Basically, he shares it with me.
Yeah.
Did you pick up that Harley in your neighborhood It was an old one. That's all I remember. I haven't. It's sitting out.
To be honest, it wouldn't be a good time now because we have nowhere to put it.
Well, yeah, and I think as time goes on, it's going to get a lot cheaper. It's like an early '70s shovelhead FLH, so it's a nice bike. But the thing about it, there's so much I would do to it that I don't really care. It's just sitting out there as long as the wheels roll in the bottom end and it's not locked up or anything, or the case, the case blown out of it or something. As long as it can be redone, I will.
Jason says shower with Gage.
Yeah, yeah, I like to get it, and I rode a bike that Sportster. Harley Davidson canceled the Sportster. They're coming out with something else.
It's an electric bike.
It's not electric. It's a new deal, but they tried something like that a while back, but they didn't cancel the Sportster. It was a good thing. But I mean, Sportsters have been around since '57. The very first ones were flatheads, and then shovel heads, and then they've been running the Evo for. When did they start the Evos? In the early, like '86 or somewhere around there. Yeah, I think '84, '85 was '85. I think was the last year Shovelhead Sportster, and then I think it was '86 on. They were all Evos.
Maddie says he's exhausted from all the mini zoomies he just done running to catch the ball 100 times.
Well,
he just kind of gave up.
He gets to spend more time outside right now because I wouldn't say he's good, but he's better. We're constantly. I know the neighbors all know his name because we're always yelling at him.
We don't have a fence around the perimeter of this 1 acre, and all the dogs, literally, I'm not kidding you, all the dogs in the neighborhood, they all. It's like a mini thoroughfare here. They just constantly back and forth and peeing on things and pooping everywhere.
The lady next door feeds.
Yeah.
Every dog, every cat, anything that goes over to her house.
Very tender heart.
That's Patty the Pit Bull. That's what we call her. She's the one that, now if you're a human, you come on our property when we're not here, she's right over here running you off. But the dogs, no. And, but Cage chases them. He'll get after them.
He chases them.
You see like 2 dachshunds and
Yeah, but I don't think that he's chasing them to run them off his property. I don't think he's being territorial. I think he wants to play.
With his hair standing up on his back?
I don't know.
I think he's like skedaddle. You need to get out of here. He's a mean dog.
He didn't have any friends.
Yeah.
Although we did have a visit from Dougie D.
Yeah.
I don't know where he's at tonight. He and his wife came and visited us, and that was quite fun. And they have 2 little Yorkies, and they got along pretty good.
Yeah. Oh, he's a good dog with other dogs. He's very social, but not when you just walk on the property.
There were 3 Yorkies here and 1 Boston.
So there was
brother-in-law, my
Marty,
brother-in-law and sister-in-law came over.
Before this goes away, Marty Moose Samuels. Howdy, folks. Howdy, Marty. How you doing?
Marty Moose Samuels. Hi. Welcome.
Yep.
Put up a fake fire hydrant and hook an electric fence charger to it.
What a Model A.
Geez, Jerry.
Or just a pair of scissors.
You guys are going to love this.
You thought this was a political channel.
Oh, one of your phones has a Boston Terrier? You have to tell me which one.
One of your followers, yeah.
Yeah. One of their followers. I thought this was a political channel.
Well, sometimes.
Jerry, have Wesley test. I love Wesley. You guys be nice to Wesley.
I'll give you my political word tonight. Try to start getting some money out of the bank. If you have money in the bank, try to get some cash.
Cindy says they call it a Boston Terrible.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's what he is.
I've called him a Boston Terror for years.
Yeah, he's a good boy, though. We love Cagey. He's quite the boater. Want to go on the boat? Should have seen him. He's like, I'm ready. Let's go. We'll go right. You want to go see Uncle Kev? Go on the boat?
He's faking you out, Casey.
Yeah, I told him that the other day, and he's like, "Yeah, what?
Read the comment.
What?
2 eggs.
Ouch. What?
Mute.
Oh, yeah. Just keep some cash around.
Economy's headed down the tube.
It's going to get real hard to get your money out. Now they're monitoring anybody with more than $20,000 in the bank on a daily basis. They're monitoring their accounts, and people with less weekly.
Wesley thinks a lot of both of you also.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
He is a good kid. It's a political channel the first Monday of the month. That's right, Maddie. Yeah. That's
right. Well, things are happening. A lot of things are happening. Italy voted in a whole right-wing political party. I mean, they're running it. It was Switzerland did it the other day. So things are changing. They just need to do some positive things here, but I don't know what's going to happen. You know, all I know is that they are trying to keep people from getting money out of the bank. So if you don't have a lot of money in there, don't put it in there.
If you don't have a lot of money, you don't have to worry about it.
In fact, if you feel unsafe about keeping money at home, you can send it to me and I'll keep it. We should have like a telethon. That's what we should do. Remember that? I used to sit there and watch Jerry Lewis.
Yeah.
I could not believe this guy could do the dumbest thing. He's got the craziest people on there. I mean, people could never be on TV unless they went to the Jerry Lewis telethon. And you get like $30 million. That was back like in the 60s and 70s. It was crazy.
Do not buy gold. The technicals are pointing down. Where should I address my check, Dad?
What?
Where should I address my check, Dad?
Here, right? Well, I might, if it's enough, we might come say hi to you. But the thing with gold is they're trying to suck. It's always a sucker play. I don't deal with gold anyway too much. I like silver. I think silver's going to be the silver and gold are going to kind of level off pretty close in value. So that might be a good thing.
Cheap these days.
Gas? Yeah. Well, guess what? It's going up.
Oh my gosh. Joelle Leslie, hello.
Hi.
Glad you popped on. Yep. I tried to respond to your messages and it won't let us. I'm not sure why.
If you do it on one of our videos or something. Yeah. But I don't know how that works. Economic refuge. It says economic refugees, but and then I typed a couple. I've typed sent you a couple things, and then.
Yeah, it won't let you send.
We're just joking about money.
Yes.
We don't. You know what? People work hard for their money, and it always pisses me off when I see people out here begging for money because
Greg says about our being.
Always
trying to steer it back.
When is gas going to go up? Do you think? Oh, it's actually starting to go up now a little bit. Although we did see it, we saw it for $2.92 on Saturday, one gas station.
In Ho Chi Minh?
No, it was.
On the way to Ward. Yeah.
It was, but we went out the back way. We went out a different way than we usually do, and that was over there by before we got to Hot Springs somewhere.
Cindy said these folks on the freeway yesterday had their Venmo info written on their back window asking for money for a trip to Disneyland. Just do it.
Yeah. You know your dad, Cindy. Well, we had our companies and we were making money. We'd go out to dinner. I'd take everybody out to dinner and that kind of stuff. So.
And now what's your motto?
When I eat, everybody eats. And when I pay, everybody pays. So, well, that's the RV way, though. That's what we were taught. Everybody goes, they pay their own. Everybody pays their own way. And if it's a special deal and somebody wants to take you out to dinner or something, that's different. But for the most part, it's always everybody pays their own way because when you're RV'd and you're living off of before we went on Social Security, I mean we you have to watch yourself because you don't know if you're always going to have a job. You know, you're trying to you can make a lot of money, but you got to save a bunch of it too because a breakdown will kill you. You know,
I'm
I mean,
finally just paying $2.85 a gallon. But in California, I paid $5.99 a gallon.
ew,
Yeah, Maddie's in Texas.
yeah,
Yep.
everything's expensive. You know, and now what's the deal? Grandma's going to be
Oh yeah.
put in the
Can't be cremated in California anymore.
yeah.
You got to be composted.
Yeah, they're gonna compost you, and then after like a month, you can go pick up grandma, and they give you like a bucket of dirt. Crazy. I I I just can't believe any of that stuff's true, but they say it is. So.
I must not have friends. Always been that way for me, Marty. That is that almost. Oh, oh yeah. That lady at Walmart asking for money for fuel. She parked on the other side of the parking lot away from the pumps. Yeah, asking for gas money away from the pumps.
Yeah, I seen her that one day. Yeah,
She's there all the time.
I I've exposed a couple of phony baloney people on that stuff. And they just they could go out in front of a store and stand there, and the ones that I hate is when you're like going in the shop and they come, walking up to you. Hey man, you got any spare change? Yep, got plenty. No thanks. I got plenty. I don't need no more. They just look at you like, no, I want it. No, no, no. I don't give people money. If I'm going to give somebody money, usually they won't know I gave it to them.
And that's how it should be.
Yeah. And if you're RV'd, if you're a full time RVer and you're begging for money for gas, and
You shouldn't be our man.
yeah, because that's one of the advantages of being a full time RVer is that you could cruise around. If you when we were in business, and we had retail stores in the area where we're at. When the economy got bad where we were at, we were in bad shape. We had an electronics company. We had two stores. Once we got rid of the stores and we went wholesale, I was working like in three different states, and two of the states I was selling product in, things were good, and people were had money and they were selling the product, and it just made it good for us because we could go through the tight times because we weren't tied to the exact place. When I had my motorcycle shop, I mean, I had customers that came from long distances, but once a year, I mean, leave the bike for a few days and have me go all through it. But I had one guy that used to come down from Washington to California to have me because he used to live in California, and I worked on his bike, and he called me and said if I brought my bike down, um, could I leave it? Could you work on it? And then can I leave it at your shop, and then I'll come and go ride it during the day and stuff. And I said, yeah, as long as you're there by the time I close. So then I had a guy in Idaho that came down too because it was so dang cold, and he would leave his bike, which gave me a really awesome idea. And we were talking about that the other day, and I was trying to buy this property near because where we lived in the high desert, right behind us was Big Bear Lake, Lake Arrowhead, Lake Gregory, yeah, Brightwood.
Motorcycles on.
But the thing was, in the wintertime, they couldn't get their bikes out because the snow and all that was so cold. So I wanted to set up a building to have it where people could leave their bikes there. We keep them charged, and if they had a problem with it or something, they have it where they could pull their bikes in, lock them in and all that stuff. We make sure they could actually live in the building. And I was trying to buy this property, and this other guy outbid me on it, and he got it. And then, I mean, it was like I think it was like $80,000 or $90,000 for the lot. It was a lot of money. And this guy like outbid us by 10 grand. And then come to find out that someone had been dumping all kinds of stuff on that property for years. And the owner of the property said he had no idea, but they wanted $300,000 to clean that property up. So I'm glad they never did. I don't know what happened, but they never did build that.
That property was just a few years ago, and it was still empty.
But it was a cool place. There was a bar right next door, where a lot of bikes came to. It would have been really cool, and people can leave their bikes in our shop and ride in the desert in the wintertime.
Train says the panhandlers I can't stand are able-bodied men who use their kids to pull at your heartstrings. They do.
Or the guy that sits out there with a $500 guitar and a piece of cardboard and 3 big, huge dogs that look like they're ready to give birth and stuff. It's like, dude, you're begging for money.
Your props are not matching.
Yeah, you're giving it. I used to go buy electronics in San Fernando Valley, right by Budweiser. And when I would get off the freeway, there was a guy that would be sitting in a wheelchair that said Vietnam vet, hungry, all this stuff. And one day I had some extra time, and I just I kind of thought I knew where he was going to be. I see him come underneath the freeway. He came and he went down the street. So I just kind of went past him a little ways and parked. And I seen him get into like a really nice car. He got out of the wheelchair and folded it up, stuck it in the back of the car. He comes around, he gets in the car. There's nothing wrong with him. He probably wasn't a Vietnam vet. He was probably nothing was right there. And he was there like at least 5 days a week. Every time I went there, he was there. And I just thought he must have been pulling down some pretty heavy change. And I think the car he had, but he looked like a bum the way he dressed. But when he had like a $70,000 car back in the '90s, it's like something wasn't right.
No, Shannon baking anymore. That's true. I think CMA is having a rally here next month. I think so. I think it's for the changing of the colors. I believe that's what they call it.
Yeah. So, the trees here are starting to change.
For a while?
I guess.
What are we having?
Yeah. We had burritos tonight, steak burritos. Yeah, we live in a food desert around here. The restaurants there's some that are okay. Our little thing over here, it's in a gas station, but it's not. It's not. I wouldn't say it's really good. I'd say it's okay. You don't die from eating it. Our Mexican restaurant, that's gone. They're shut down. So
not going to open again.
I don't know. Well, something will eventually, but not right now. And there is a Mexican restaurant that has.
All the restaurants will be full when they have that rally next month.
Yeah.
Molcajete.
Yeah, I like that. Comes like in this lava dish that they heat up
to like mortar and pestle. And
they heat it up so hot that it's like chicken and steak and shrimp and green chili and onions and all this stuff. They bring you some fresh flour tortillas. That's really good. I like stuff like that.
Like Jason said, it's good for like a cold day.
Yeah, I talked Jason. Put 2 eggs in a basket. I talked him into getting it. He's like, yeah, this will probably be better on a cold day. You walk out there, you can see smoke coming out your ears. It's pretty strong stuff.
Good for a winter meal.
Yeah.
Molcajete. You got it, Terry. I knew this was a political channel. That's why I come here. Liars.
Well, you know what? Those guys do really good. I watch their numbers. They crank. I don't. If you guys ever seen I Allegedly, I got a really good one for you today. That's how he starts. Yeah, I got a really good one. It's every day. Yeah, he has a really good one for you today. And he walks like through Newport Beach. All these really. Where we used to go ride our bikes and everything. We used to go to the beach. When I was a kid, I was at the beach a lot. Used to ditch school to go surfing. Yeah, but Point Sweat, good times. Yeah,
No, where's the crossing? But yeah, next.
you always know Dad's about to start talking politics again. When he raises his eyebrows, looks down, and says, "Well, you know, well, you know."
See, your kids watch you. They watch you.
I know.
They know. They know what's
But
coming.
Steve's not here. Leah's not here.
No, I mean they know your
I
manners.
know,
And
but
they know what's coming next.
yeah. You know what we found? We found the paddle, Cindy.
I actually thought.
Huh?
Marty Moose, you're right. No shame. Maddie says.
Oh well. You know, I had one time. I had a guy, young guy. I mean, this is where we used to live, but we were RV'd at that time. We were visiting family there. That now we're on here, and everybody is gone. But I was, I don't know where you were at, but I probably with the kids, and I went to Walmart to get something. I was walking in. This guy comes walking up to me and wanted money, and I just turned around. And he said, "What's wrong with you?" He goes, "What do you mean?" I said, "There's a help wanted sign right there over at this Walmart. Right? Why don't you go in there and get a job? Like I work. I work. I'm collecting Social Security, but I still have to work." I said, "I'm not going to give money that I work for to you." And he turned around, and walked away. And this lady came over. She goes, "I wish I could do that. I wish I could just say that to people. I always give them money, and I know they just take it, buy drugs with it. You know, I like I say, I had a guy one time come up to me and he said, "Man, I hate to ask you for this, but I just got here. I've got a job right over here, and I haven't got my first check yet, and I'm at lunch. And I like to go to Taco Bell and get a couple of tacos. Could you spare, some change or something?" I probably gave him about $3 when I said, "Well, here's that." And he went over there, got taco, and he came out. And he had a small soda and had a bag full of food. So I felt good about that. It's if you tell him, "Well, I'll go in and I'll buy it for you." Yeah,
You guys want to see what Cage is doing right now? That's what he's doing.
That's called kicking
He's
back.
tired.
Yeah, he's out. I don't know what he did today. He must have been running around a lot.
Cindy said I was good. I never needed that battle.
Yeah. Well, I think Leah got it once. Steve got it about four or five times at least. But he was a boy. He
Poor
needed to be
thing.
spanked.
He's exhausted from running all those home runs. You're right. And yesterday's boating excursion. I don't think he's recovered from that yet.
And he's so
It's
chatty.
his bedtime now anyway.
Yeah, he's so chatty. It's amazing. We on that boat. He was standing. We'll have to put that on. He's standing up on the. We kept telling him, "Get off of there," because he falls in the water. He's at the highest point where any wave he'd be in the drink, and he's talking.
Can you see? That's him on the boat.
Yeah, he gets the chatting, and and then at night when we're in bed asleep, he'll get a dream, and he's telling us all about it. It's just like wake up and I go, "Do you hear that?" Yeah, it's crazy. He's a good boy.
He is a good boy. Another one.
Sometimes.
It's pretty out there on that lake.
Yeah, it's Broken Bow, Oklahoma, near Hochatown.
Hochatown.
And we're going there tomorrow. We're going to take them out for lunch on the way to go to the therapy because it's kind of just a little bit more of a loop, but it's kind of cool. So it's a lot of fun. There's this area. Well, no, you wouldn't like it here. Nobody would like it here. Now we're telling people not to come here. There's stuff for sale. That's what's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, poor thing. Yeah.
I think people have kind of missed the window for selling and getting high dollar for
Yeah. Well,
stuff.
the problem is the interest rates are getting so high. and they're making it harder to qualify, and money's tight. You know, um, if you if you kind of want to know what the future is possible to be, look up the SARA, NESARA, and that'll give you an idea. And if that's a thing that happens, that'd be wonderful for the American people. Yeah, look at Jason now.
Yeah.
Don't come here. We bought property here. I don't want no one else coming near me. Where he bought, there is no one else near him.
The SARA is National Economic Security and Recovery Act.
Right. And there's also just SARA, which is global, national and global. So if you do a little research on that, it might brighten your spirits a little bit because there'll be a lot of forgiveness of debt, and there'll be a money exchange thing, and it's quite a process, but it could be good. Did he say mute?
But you know what?
That's not really political. It's just interesting. You'll be it'll be a whole new thing.
There's nothing wrong with that. It's quiet.
It's quiet would be E.T.
That's why they're keeping an eye on our bank accounts. They're going to take the money from us and forgive the others' loans. Are you telling me you're going to buy an electric motorhome? Yes, actually.
No, they actually are manufacturing them right now.
No.
Yeah. I saw a thing they were promoting it, and it had a range of 100 miles. So if you wanted to go like to Quartzsite, it would take you.
What's that other channel you were watching? The guy bought an electric truck.
Oh, that's
he drove an hour.
Hovey's Garage.
And then he had to wait an hour and a half for it to charge up to drive another hour.
Yeah, he was pulling a trailer, aluminum car trailer, with a Ford Lightning electric vehicle, and it's supposed to have a range of 220 miles, but he got about 80 miles out of it, and they had to charge it for 90 minutes.
Yeah, Jason says it's quiet, and they have neighbors.
Oh, they do?
Well, those people that bought that property.
Yeah, but they're not in there.
Change happens, sometimes good, sometimes bad. Everything happens in cycles. True that.
Yeah.
We were talking about that with global warming today, weren't we, Amanda? Do you know why you can't get good parts for your truck? I think to produce and crappy parts to get the gas vehicles off the road. Maybe. Could be, Terry.
Well,
with a long,
if you ever watched, here's another one, Uncle Tony's Garage. He's a big Mopar man, and he was talking about all these parts that you buy anymore. Everything's made in China, and the guy at I shouldn't be saying this, but the guy at the AutoZone was telling me, he goes, all our electronic parts are China, and sometimes you get good ones, and sometimes you'll go through 3 or 4 before you get a good one, and that's why NGK discontinued manufacturing these sensors, but
which are Japanese.
There's only 4 left on Amazon, so I bought one.
So.
Yeah, with a long cord.
Yeah.
What do you want off? Is that what you're clapping and yelling at me for?
Yep.
That's how you can tell when Darla's about ready to say, it's time to get off here. She starts making loud noises.
Usually I take my phone and I go.
Yeah.
But you guys can't see because it's down here.
Yeah. All right. Well, unless someone has a question or an answer or something, and it looks like, well, of course, we have 20 and 20 on the likes, but
oh, that's right.
If anybody hasn't thrown us down a like, we really would appreciate it.
Jason says cattle. Those are his neighbors. They're 3 acres away.
Oh, yeah. So you'll have flies.
I watch him all the time, Terry says. Hovey's Garage.
Yeah. That's one more thing. Class A is it's raining now, so now I guess he's going to spend another winter there. at the rancher's property. So I don't know.
And he buckled his roof.
Yeah.
Because it was.
He was on top of it welding it.
Right, but he also ran too long of a thing instead of going this side, this side, this side, this side.
Yeah,
right?
too long a bead.
It got too hot because he ran too long of a bead, so it's all warped.
Yeah.
But he's getting there.
Fertilizer
for next year. It's a real problem. I know a lot. Yeah, that's why a lot of people I know that are doing small scale homesteading, they make their own fertilizer.
Well, you know what fertilizer is around here?
Cow poo.
Chicken
poo.
Chicken poop. They clean out these chicken houses. My brother does it. My nephew, I don't know. He must.
Good stuff for gardens.
Yeah, he's inside of a air conditioned cab of a skidster, and he loads a belt that feeds into the truck. But now they're shifting. They're going to quit doing chicken houses, and they're going to start doing gin trash again.
Yeah.
So they go down to
Louisiana,
Texas, and they go to this where they process the cotton after it's picked. They
pick out of it that's not usable for cotton.
But the cows love it.
And
it's really good for them. So, yeah. Well, you got chicken, Cindy, and Leah's gonna have chicken. So you.
Hey, Mega Van Mike.
Yeah.
Thanks for popping in. Everybody was late tonight.
Yeah, we were late. That's why. Sorry, we're late. Was our video name. So everybody hit the like. I'm still. Oh wait, it is. Okay, they're going up. There we go. Well, we appreciate it, everyone.
Every one of you guys, thank you for cutting out some time in your lives to spend some frivolous
quality time with us.
Yep.
Yeah, we enjoy you guys, and if you're not yet subscribed, please subscribe. Hit the like.
Rewatch us if you missed us, if you want to.
Yeah, watch us twice. You probably missed nothing the first time. I mean, the second time.
We're fine.
Yeah, we're. This is what I like to call our nonsense.
Yeah.
I think once in a while we hit something, you know.
And I've seen a lot of you on here that I haven't seen for a while, so that's really nice. We're happy about that too.
Yeah, some new people.
And new people. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, we'll probably be back next Monday night, hopefully on time.
Yeah, thank you, Byron, for the blessings. We need it. We
accept those.
We should have took our truck to that truck blessing or the car blessing.
The car blessing.
Yeah.
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 Should have.
Look, we gotta love you guys.
Aww.
Of course, it's our daughter.
Oh.
I would hope so.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
Yeah. We're going to click off.
I like the lighter start.
The lighter start. Be the later start?
I think so.
Later, there you go.
Yep.
I hate that auto spelling thing.
Correct. Anyways, you guys, thank you. We hope you have a great week, and we'll see you next Monday night.